said, what is this? I said, so you can put that in a car?
Wow.
You saw what?
Ostrich. Is that how you say the word?
Yeah, ostrich. Yeah,
Ostrich skin. It's
yeah.
like, it doesn't look like it, I guess, because the feathers are gone, but it is fancy.
Yeah.
So what you do?
So what our business is primarily automotive upholstery. So we do like if you have cloth seats and you want to make them leather, we do that. But we also do the stuff like you would see on Pimp My Rides or shows that used to be on like that. So we
Oh,
do full
fancy stuff.
customization, stereo installs, convertible top installs, sunroof repair, seat repair, carpet replacement, door panel repairs, or full custom interiors. So we do a little bit of everything that's cosmetic driven in the interior of the car. So, but we also do vehicle wraps. We just started doing vehicle wraps,
Oh,
and
wow. I didn't know that.
so yeah, we've just added that to the fold now.
Anthony, I'm gonna need to know what is a vehicle wrap.
So
What you talking about?
So it's sort of like changing the color of your car, like when you paint it,
Uh
but
huh.
it's with a wrap. So a lot of people, you'll see a lot of higher end cars.
Like our buses.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
got you. That's what it's
yeah,
called.
yeah.
I'm
So
like, make that
they'll
pretty
take
for
it.
me.
Yeah. So a lot of people use it for. You can do paint protection, things of that nature. So they've got clear paint protection things that go onto the front of the car. It keeps rock chips from tearing up your car and things of that nature. But also, you can change the color of your car. But the beautiful thing about it is they only last, well, I ain't going to say they only last, but average about 3 to 5 years. But when you peel that back off, that paint will look like it did the day you put it on.
It
So,
won't look like some of those old police officer cars where
no,
you
no,
can
no,
see.
no, 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 no.
Okay.
But those was because of decals. So the whole car wasn't wrapped. It was just a
It was just
decal.
decal
So the part that wasn't covered, it still got the wear of the
of the.
years, but the part that was underneath the sticker still was fresh. So when they peeled those stickers off, that's why you see
Okay, so
the.
let me ask you.
Mhm,
I opened my daughter's car the other day. She doesn't care anything about her car at all.
mhm,
And so her side seat was ripped at the seam and
mhm.
you could see the foam coming out of there. If she
It's the
takes her
most
car
common.
over there, you can hook
Yeah,
her up? All
absolutely.
right.
That's the most common repair we do in our shop outside of headliners. Is seat repairs where people slide in and out of their car and that bolster of that seat where you slide in and out starts getting worn. So those are common for us.
Okay, well, that's going
Hmm.
to be a good thing. I'm going to send her over there because she's kind of like me when it comes to vehicles. She knows about putting gas in it and going, and that's it.
Right, right.
So,
And that's a lot of people, man. I mean, a lot of people don't know how to take care of leather. They think that they can
Oh,
just get
yeah.
in it and go. But actually, leather, you have to actually do more to it than you would the cloth seats because you got to realize leather is a hide of skin, okay, that came off of a cow. And so that cow produced natural oils that kept that skin soft. So it's just like our skin. If our body doesn't create oils or we don't put lotion on, we're gonna crack and stuff, right? So you have to synthetically put that back in with leather conditioners and stuff to get the most out of your seats. So
now see, this is what I'm talking about. This is what he was trying to keep private. No, 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 no. What I'm hearing Anthony say is don't let your past dictate your future.
Right.
And
absolutely not.
so,
Right.
Absolutely not. I mean, I'll tell you this. Um, it's funny because it's kind of a segue off this whole convicted felon thing and so on and
mhm.
so forth. So I got out in 2000 and December of 2003, and I had got out with the idea I was going to start a cleaning service. All right. Well, my dad. Now I'm gonna give you a little history on my dad real quick. Um, my dad had did some prison time, and he did a 10-year stint. And in that 10 years, he learned this thing called upholstery. Okay, so he was doing it in the prison system. And so when he got out, he utilized that on the street and he became an upholsterer on the street. Okay, so he worked for a company for 10 years. And I used to see him doing it and I thought it looked like hieroglyphics. I was just like, dude, I don't know nothing about that stuff. And so fast forward till January of 2004, I was working at Amazon.com and he calls me and he says, "You ready to help me get this business off the ground?" I said, "What are you talking about?" And he said he got to telling me why he wasn't going to be working for the company that he was with or whatever. And he said all the decorators that was in the business, because he does furniture upholstery. So he said all the decorators in the business, they're going to follow wherever I go. And instead of me going somewhere else, I don't want to work for somebody else. I'm going to actually start my own. And he said, I'm going through the state now to get all my paperwork set up. And I said, okay, well, I'll come along. You know, I don't know nothing about it. And he said, you ain't got to worry about that. I'm going to teach you.
Each
I had,
one teach one.
right, absolutely. And so I knew the business side of it because I'm pretty business savvy. So I helped him on the business side while I was learning the upholstery side, you know. And he was like, you're just going to tear this stuff down. You're going to tear this stuff down, and I'll tell you what. He said, but just make sure you pay attention to how you tear it down. So in that process, I learned, he told me he was going to pay me $100 a week. He said, I can't afford to pay you no more than $100 a week. So I kept my job at Amazon, you know, and I worked and started learning. And now, my dad is not a teacher. So with him saying, I'm going to teach you, he ain't going to teach you nothing. You have to be self-motivated.
I must speak up for all dads in America. Dads are teachers
Right.
now. Come on.
He going to teach you by watching him. Like, he's not in the traditional standpoint of, I'm going to teach you through, you know, this book work and all this other stuff. So you just got to pay attention, and you got to be willing to learn, you know, and willing
That's
to
right.
grasp it. But I'm a self-motivated type of person. And so I would sneak in there to the sewing machine because he would never let me get on the sewing machine.
Lord, this man knows how to sew.
Yeah, so I would go and get on the sewing
I've got
machine.
to do better, Cam. I've got to do better now.
So I would get on the sewing machine, and I would go in there and I'd sew up something real quick. And I'd say, hey, Dad, look at this. What do you think about that? He'd be like, you did that pretty good. So then next time that type of thing came along, he's like, I'll go in there to that sewing machine, go and get that together. You know, I'm like, all right, cool, you know. And so then I would keep adding different things that he wouldn't let me do. I would just go sneak and do it, and then I'll show it to him, you know.
Right.
And then that's how he built confidence in me to start doing things on my own, you know. But it was because I was self-motivated.
And you embrace the process.
Oh,
too.
I did, because I seen the money.
A lot of people want to go from point A to point Z
Yeah.
without doing all of that other stuff in between.
Absolutely.
And Clark, what I hear him talking about is economic development and what that means. And listen, don't try to go silent on me, Clark, because you have a whole lot to talk about with economic development and all of that.
No, I mean that's a real crucial component. Economic inclusion, economic empowerment, economic development. The biggest part of that is all about starting some businesses. It's great to work for someone else, and that's fine, but you don't generate wealth by working for someone else.
Right.
Say that
You
one
just
more
make
time.
them wealth.
Say that in my right ear.
You don't generate
Right.
wealth by working for someone else.
That's right.
And also, you know, take for example, we already said 1 in 4 African Americans in Kentucky, 1 in 4 to 1 in 5, depending on when you look at the numbers, could not vote because of you know, they had a felony in their past. Well, then it's hard to come out and get the right kind of employment. But if we own our own businesses, then we don't have to worry about whether or not somebody else will hire us. And we also can hire our own family members and our own people in our own community. And so anytime that we can encourage someone or teach someone a skill that will allow them to be able to start a business and employ themselves, that's one of the crucial elements of this battle that we're in.
Yeah, I used to tell people when they would come in and say, I can't get this job. I was like, look, if you can't find a job, make a job.
Make a job.
Well,
No, everybody has a talent. Everyone has a gift. You know, you need to find that gift and make some money off of it.
that's right. That's
Absolutely.
right. You can't, doing nothing is not the answer.
Right.
Doing nothing. And something that I want people to do, Clark, you know what I'm getting ready to say?
What you gonna say?
Vote.
Vote.
Pack the polls.
Right.
That's what that's your
Absolutely.
job. That's your job for the next 19, 20 days is to get your vote out there. Make sure you are heard. Don't be invisible any longer.
Right.
Get out to the polls and vote.
Absolutely.
Vote and think about these issues. I mean, we know what's going on with COVID-19, and we know what's not going on with COVID-19. We know that also Social Security and Medicare are on the chopping block, not to mention Medicaid. We also know that public education is on the chopping block as far as funding. And we know who goes to public schools.
Our kids.
And we know who's going to, in all likelihood, keep going to public schools. Healthcare. We all have family members. If we don't have one, we know people that have pre-existing conditions. We have family members. We love people that have pre-existing conditions. We've